really is only one play that we can think of when it comes to the holiday season, especially around the Twin Cities: A Christmas Carol. And for the 45th season, yes, for the 45th season, it is playing at the Guthrie, and we are thrilled. Joining us once again, give it up for Scrooge himself, Nathaniel Fuller, please. I love it. I apologize that Scrooge led your name. I'm sorry that I introduced you as... Is this... I'll start with this. You've played on... Let me get this right. You've played Scrooge, listen to this audience, nine times you've played Scrooge, 22 times as an understudy. Is there still more for you to discover about this character whenever you play it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For one thing, the script gets tweaked a little bit, so there are more things to digest. I can't tell you the number of times even this year, I get a line, and it's maybe a line that I've said for several years, and for some reason, something in it turns, and I know what the line really means for the first time. Even though I've researched it, I've read the books, I've watched movies, but there's always something new to discover. The other thing is that with newer actors responding to me, then I'm acting in a different way, or I discover some new meaning in the way a different actor does something.
Absolutely. What is it? You talk about the research that you've done and day-to-day research just playing the part. What do you think is the universal appeal of this story, the timeless nature of it? Is it its universal themes of redemption, compassion? What do you think is the secret?
What I always say is that I think at heart it's about what it means to be alive. And to be alive, you have to have human contact. You have to have empathy, you have to have generosity. It's about reaching out, not only to give to people, but also to receive from people. Scrooge is a person who, because of many issues, he built a shell around himself. He was afraid of the outside world. And he pretended he was happy just going after money and profit. Well, how many people do we know who do that in real life today? Yeah. Workaholics who don't have a family life or anything like that. And fortunately, the three spirits, he's lucky to have them because they rip that shell away in a very painful way, and he has to confront himself, but he learns the joy of being in a world where he accepts and relates and loves other people.
Yeah. And I think it's great. And I would imagine as a Guthrie vet, it is delightful. I know I love to see and hear people say, oh, I'm making this a tradition. I know so many families where you are a part of their family tradition. As an actor, that has to be fantastic for you.
I feel really lucky to be able to work in a city where I relate to the people in the town. I think in Minneapolis, you have ownership of the Guthrie Theater. So I feel a great responsibility year after year, not just in Christmas Carol, other plays, but especially Christmas Carol, to share that experience. And when people are standing up and cheering at the end of the show and feeling just elated, it makes us elated too. It's just a wonderful thing.
Yeah. And we were, in our research, we found out that half of the audience, when they come to see you at the Christmas Carol, this shocked me, they're coming to the Guthrie for the first time. So you're kind of you are the catalyst for hopefully a lifetime love of theater.
Yeah, we are for the Guthrie, and not only for many people, it's their first professional theater experience. And
isn't that great? I mean, it's fantastic.
And theater is not just the show. Theater is the energy between the production and the audience. So the audience is part of the art form, and you feel that when you come to theater.
I know this is going to sound goofy, but when I read that and I thought about the audience, and I'm sure maybe you've thought about it, I think of that little kid sitting out there, because you know where I'm going. I say it many times in the show, I would watch Johnny Carson and would be inspired by, I want to do that. It must be great to think that there's a kid out there watching what you do, and the Guthrie is the spark that inspires a lifelong dream for many, many people in your audience.
I agree. And it's not just watching what I do. We have a large number of children in the show. And children see that and they go, why can't I do that?
Yeah.
They ask us about it, and they can. They get involved in theater in their schools or in their community, and it really opens up a world for them. It's amazing how many times I think theater has, for some children, saved their lives because they realize they have a new way of expressing themselves.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautifully put. I love it. I love it. If you haven't seen it, I'm telling you, and I was telling Nathaniel off air, the set, it must be, to work on that set is amazing. It's one, if you guys haven't seen it, the set is one of the most beautiful sets I've seen in theater. And it must be, it's a great toy box for you.
It is. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for all of the actors. There are all these shops and things that they can go into. For me, it's a little challenge sometimes running up and down the stairs.
Oh, yeah.
But it is a beautiful set to work on.
Yeah, it's great. Give it up for Scrooge himself, everybody.
Thank you.
A Christmas Carol. I'm not kidding. If you haven't seen this, if you haven't seen it, maybe you have a new family, you're just growing your family, it's a great tradition to start. It's playing at the Guthrie through December 29th. For tickets, go to guthrietheater.org.